What's up guys, my name is Tom, welcome back to another video. Here back to my F1 2019 career mode episode 18 in season 1, and today is a Japanese Grand Prix with big news because we have some driver changes on the F1 grid. Daniel Ricciardo leaves Renault to go to Racing Point, and Sergio Perez leaves Racing Point to go to Renault. So some tasty news, you know. We used to see Daniel Ricciardo in the Renault, but now we're going to see in pink, and we're going to change our old components because we have to use them because we changed them to the Russian Grand Prix. But seeing the performance chart, it seems that Renault still remains the best of the rest cars. So it was a very smart move from Perez, to be honest. Not very smart one for Ricciardo. They basically swapped places, and now Mercedes is the strongest car of the field. But I think pace has been quite good around Japan. It's a track that I like, and in the back of the grid is Williams and McLaren fighting for the worst car. But we'll see what we can do. Remember that the performance chart doesn't tell the whole story. So let's go down to the qualifying and see what we can do in one lap pace.
Welcome to the only figure-of-8 track on the F1 calendar. We're here at Suzuka for qualifying today ahead of the Japanese Grand Prix. This is the kind of track that eats rear tyres for breakfast, or so I'm told by more experienced drivers than myself.
No matter how good a driver is at managing their throttle application to limit rear slip, they can't always overcome a car that's inherently bad at looking after its rear tyres. Here we have a lot of low-speed corner exits, which means a whole load of energy, heat and tyre wear.
And here we are in the end of our first lap. Things are going good at the moment. It was a very tidy lap through the last chicane, hitting the ball out, so that would be a validated lap if it was strict corner cutting rules. But we'll lose the back end as we go through that bump. It's very tricky, that bump, because you can go flat out, but once you hit that bump, you basically, that's it, and your car, and you lose the back end of the car. But we had to do another run because we are in P13, not a very safe spot to go into Q2. And here we are going through the S session. We are gaining 4 tenths as we are finishing, as we're going through the last sector. Let's see if we can gain a little bit of more time, because we have some oversteer, but actually we're losing time. So I was a little bit tentative on the throttle, and across the line is P9, and it's going to be enough to us to get us into Q2. A little bit far from my teammate, but it's early days, and let's see what we can do as we go into Q2. Pace has been not the best, like has been in the last few weekends, but I think it's enough to get us, you know, some consistent points. Because remember, it's our engine supplier home Grand Prix at Japan, so we have to make sure that we make a good show in front of their own fans. But at the moment, P14, not the best. We set a 129.6. and things are not very good if you want to go to the top 10 shootout. We have Grosjean ahead, but he's not you know, compromising our lap, gaining 2 tenths as we go through this section. That is one of my favorites of the track. It's absolutely satisfying when you absolutely nail it, very fast, very fluid, and going through the last corner, losing a little bit once again the back end, only struggling a little bit over the course of this weekend. And at the moment it's P10 with a 129.3, but unfortunately we are out of qualifying by qualifying in P14. Unfortunately, our teammate Lucas Weber got P9 and is going through the top 10 shootout. But this was very unfortunate. We missed out by just only 2 tenths. But yeah, we have to move on and see what we can do during the race. We're not going to give up. Maybe the pace on qualifying was bad, but in the race it can be better. So without further ado, let's go to the race and let's see if we can make a double point score for Toro Rosso and Red Bull for all the whole on the family.
We're live today from the Mie Prefecture of Japan as we look forward to the Japanese Grand Prix. The 2015 race here was one of only 5 Grand Prix in history to feature no retirements at all. Although with the highly competitive field we have today, I don't expect we'll be repeating that stat anytime soon. 18 corners make up a lap of the incredible figure-of-8 Suzuka circuit, with 10 to the right and 8 to the left, for a distance of 3.6 miles. Average lap speeds around here are fairly quick. If it stays dry, then expect somewhere in the region of 136 miles per hour. Anthony Davidson is here once again for today's Grand Prix, and we're just discussing the new driver lineup. Let's begin by discussing Daniel Ricciardo. They've just moved to Racing Point. How do you think they'll get on?
Well, I think this came as something of a surprise to most of us, but it could end up being a bit of a coup for the team. Getting a drive with experience higher up in the field might just be the boost they need, and I'm sure they'll be a big asset as the team continues to develop their car.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Sebastian Vettel has a clear track ahead of him today. He starts in pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Gasly, Leclerc, Max Verstappen, and Ricciardo. Bottas, they've taken a grid penalty. Hülkenberg, Weber, and Kimi Räikkönen. Butler, Perez, Thomas, and Grosjean. Stroll, Norris, George Russell, and Robert Kubica. Magnussen and Daniel Kvyat completes the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Thanks to a 10 grid place grid penalty of Daniel Kvyat, we are promoted one position to P13. Welcome guys to the Japanese Grand Prix. Strategy wise, it's going to be a soft medium strategy, very simple. Everyone is going to do that strategy, so there's no alternative strategies, so we have to do all the things on track, maybe a little bit of an undercut and overcut, depends of the traffic. But there you go, Sergio Perez in the Renault works team. It is a little bit weird to see the helmet on the Renault, pink helmet doesn't suit very well, but the Ricciardo one suits very well on the Racing Point car. But just showing the driver's transfers, and we are getting ready to the start of this Grand Prix. Let's see if these two guys do a nice debut. 5 red lights for the Japanese Grand Prix, and it slides out and away we go. And it was a very shaky start, not the best getaway, and let's see in the second phase wasn't the best either. And as we go into turn 1, Stroll is going to go round the outside. We're going to try hold on the inside, and we are Grosjean on the inside. That is actually starting on the medium, so he's with an alternate strategy. He's going to do the one stop, but we managed to get ahead of these two guys. And now Grosjean is vulnerable to Lando Norris in a much faster soft comparative tires, and we're trying to go on the outside of Perez, but we locked up a little bit. And now we find ourselves side by side with Lando Norris. We've squeezed him very aggressively. He went a little bit off to the grass. I let him with a little bit of room to play, but we're going to move on because we're going to dive down on the inside of the Renault of Sergio Perez. Very squeezy, very aggressively. Maybe I should be a little bit more friendly to him, but needs must. We have to make this move, try to score points, and we find ourselves in P12, and now he's going on the inside of Lando Norris, so we squeeze it so much that he's actually fighting with the McLaren. But most importantly, we can only one position, but we'll see now where the race pace is. Try to get in the DRS window of Devon Butler, and we're watching the battle between these two guys. They're still side by side. This is helping me out because they are losing time with each other, and this will help to break the DRS window of these guys behind, and we don't have to worry about them. But they're going side by side, Renault engine versus Renault engine, and it seems very equal, so the setup of these guys doesn't seem to be very different at all. But Sergio Perez gets that position, and the defense of the McLaren will leave the fight for another day. But now we're trying to chase down Devon Butler on the McLaren. We are already in lap 3, locking up a little bit, but the exit of this happen has been absolutely marvelous all the weekend comparing to the AI. And here we are, slipstream on him. Nico Hülkenberg is going to take the defensive line, but we go on the inside very aggressively. Unfortunately, we made some contact. Maybe it was a little bit of my fault. We threw the hand in frustration, but yeah, Devon Butler was always aggressive. Back to the F2 days, you know, back to flashbacks to episode 1. But now we are in the slipstream of Nico Hülkenberg, so close to the grass, fine margins, and we're going round the outside through 130 out. Wow, that was a beautiful move on the Renault driver, and now he's vulnerable to I don't know, yes, it is Devon Butler, so we squeezed him maybe too much, but that was a beautiful move as we went through 130R. I had to hold my breath to make that stick, and now there you go. There is a free wide between the two Renaults and the McLaren of Devon Butler as they go through turn 1. Norris is watching everything as an exclusive view, and Nico Hülkenberg managed to hold the position over Butler. And look at this, Renault McLaren, Renault McLaren. Wow, that was a beautiful pattern, and we're watching the midfield, no, the front runners doing you know, slicing through the field because they have some penalties. And this is Lucas Weber trying to go round the outside of Daniel Ricciardo. Look at that, and he's going to make that stick. So our teammate is absolutely on fire on our own engine suppliers Grand Prix, and now Daniel Ricciardo is going to try something, and he's going to take that position because Lucas Weber locked up, and unfortunately he lost that position, and now he finds himself behind Räikkönen, but he's going on the inside of through 130R, and there you go. Our engine has been absolutely marvelous a whole weekend, despite in the performance chat not saying that our engine has a pretty decent straight line speed around this track, but at the moment we are trying to try to catch these guys, Raikkonen, this trio, Raikkonen, Weber and Ricciardo, and we're doing so, but these tires are absolutely dead, and I decided on lap 11 we're going to pit and say goodbye to these soft tires and dress a brand new set of medium tires, where I think we did a pretty decent job. Lucas Weber stays out, so he's going to pit on the next lap, so let's try to get another Kato in, and we follow Raikkonen through, but look at the tire, where 50% almost, in average it's 50%, but in a nutshell it was a very good stint. We made some moves despite being too aggressive. Thankfully we don't have any front wing damage, and there you go, we are behind Butler. Butler is not that far, so now the mission is we are already on the points, I believe. No, we are in P11, if I am not wrong, but that's Leclerc. That is way down the order. We are in his sight, and it shouldn't be, and now he finds himself behind Raikkonen, so I don't know what happened to the Ferrari. Maybe he lost some time on the traffic during his outlap, I don't know, but we are in DRS range of these guys. But now there you go, I don't know if you guys are seeing, but there is Lucas Weber on that Toro Rosso. He's being a little bit slow through the pit exit, and we are just very close to his gearbox, but unfortunately it wasn't enough to pass our teammate, and we have to settle down for P10 because some guys are making their stops, and we have a virtual safety car, and it's because of Nico Hulkenberg and Devon Butler, so he's going on the inside. And I wonder if going to make contact. Oh, okay. I kinda consider that is a racing incident, but it was very risky from Nico Hulkenberg to take so much on the inside. That was inevitable, and that was a huge smash on the wall. He kept going, but he lost an end place of his front wing, so basically that's his race over, especially in the 50% race, where everyone is, you know, taking the one stop, but we're doing personal best, so pace has been really good on these medium tires, and there's Weber trying to go round the outside of Daniel Ricciardo. He finds the move, he finds the gap, so kudos to him. And this is, look at the time that we gain on these guys. We're going to have DRS, and we are in a slipstream on Weber. Maybe it's going to be a free wide. Yes, it is going to be, because what we're gaining on Ricciardo is huge, and with a free wide as we're going to turn 1. We made the move on Weber. We're going to turn a little bit onto Ricciardo because we had a little bit of understeer, and now we're going side by side as we go through the S session, but unfortunately Ricciardo gets the better traction, the better run. He has the nose in front, the corner was of him, and we have to settle down for P9, but this is in an insane lap, and we are in a slipstream as we go through 130. Yeah, we're going to make the move even before that. This time we didn't squeeze him very aggressively because that would be rude. We are in the points, and yeah, try to be a little bit more friendly in this game, but we made a mistake as we go through the chicane. That's not very good, and Ricciardo is very close to us, and he's going to get DRS with that powerful Mercedes engine at the back of that racing point, and there you go, he's going to fly past us, and we have to wait for another lap and see if we can overtake this guy, because I think we have the pace to overtake this racing point. This Toro Rosso has been really pacey during the whole race, and we tried to take a look on the outside, but the move wasn't there, but that was really close, so we need just a little bit more closer, and we are doing so at the beginning of lap 23. We have the DRS open, overtake mode, which makes all the juice available on the engine, and we're going to try to go around the outside, but Ricciardo goes deep and locks up. We made once again contact, having a little bit of understeer once again, and I wonder if we have front wing damage, but this time we have the nose alongside him through the S session, and we managed to squeeze just a little bit. We locked up a little bit. I don't know if you guys saw, but that was a beautiful move on the Andy Badger, and we are watching the replay. It's not very clear from the shoulder cam, but a little bit of an argy-bargy, so it's a thing that I need to work on F1 2019, that is to be a little bit more friendly, and with that squeeze, that allowed to Weber to you know, overtake Ricciardo, so a little bit of teamwork. It wasn't on purpose. That squeeze is because I locked up, I applied too much pressure on the brakes, but here I decided to let Weber go because I think we can do a good job with the slipstream of each other with the DRS, but unfortunately I made a mistake. We're going to run deep. We have now going to have a tank slapper, and unfortunately Weber is going to run away. But now we have a very interesting team radio, so...
Okay, you're in the top 10. Okay, some information on Raikkonen. They have an issue with their car. They're going to be slow.
So Raikkonen has some issues, so this can allow us to catch him because he's in front of us. So it can be a 1-2 in the midfield, and there's Weber going on the outside of Raikkonen. Raikkonen spins out. No, he managed to keep the Alfa Romeo on the car, but I believe he's out of the race. I don't know. I think he kept going. We have some. The game is switching green flags with yellow flags, and there you go. Kimi Raikkonen is out of the race, resulting with that contact. I believe so. We're watching the replay. The onboard on Raikkonen is he's going to turn into him. Oh, that was not very nice, and that's race over for Raikkonen with just 3 laps to go. Oh.
Yeah, you okay, mate? Yeah, I'm okay, but it's just ridiculous.
Raikkonen not very happy indeed, but that was clearly his fault. He literally turned into a teammate. But after that, that was it. We're going to cross the line in P8, a 1-2 for Toro Rosso in the midfield battle. The best that we could do in our home engine suppliers in Grand Prix. I tried to stick on the substream on Weber, but unfortunately we made a crucial mistake. It was a bad strategy goal for me. I actually tried on the last lap to overtake him. I was going on high and we gained a heap amount of time on him, but unfortunately it wasn't enough. That's how things go, and we're going to cross the line in P8. A very good day after a poor qualifying.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
And Mercedes have pulled off a great victory here today. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I'd say it was down once again to good, consistent driving, nailing the corners, working to the track conditions and perfecting the team's strategies. They got all of these things right today, and the results speak for themselves.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes.
A very good A for Honda after all the Honda powered cars scoring points with Red Bull and Toro Rosso in P3, P4, P7 and P8. So very nice day, very happy. We came back on qualifying after qualifying outside of the top 10, so very happy with the performance. We could have finished ahead of Weber, but that's how things go. It was a stupid mistake, and in the standings we consolidate our lead of Sergio Perez after his first Grand Prix at Renault, and Weber managed to catch him just a little bit, but I think it's too far to get P8. We'll see in the next couple of Grand Prix, but things are going very good for us. We are even closer to be best of the rest. That would be ideal. We've been scoring points through the whole races. In the Constructors' Championship, Toro Rosso consolidates their lead, and we are 19 points ahead of Racing Points. So that was the episode, guys, so make sure to smash like and subscribe to see plenty more Formula 1 content. It really motivates me to make more. I know that I have to be a little bit more consistent with career mode, but this series takes a lot of work, and we're going to buy 2 minor upgrades, and they should be ready for the next episode. That is going to be the Mexican Grand Prix, which is going to be a huge help for us, considering that is Mexico. It has huge straights, so I'm praying that these 2 minor upgrades be ready for the next episode, guys. So things are going very well. The next episode, Mexican Grand Prix, we're going to slack just a little bit on the straight line speed, but I hope that these 2 minor upgrades, like I said, mitigate the damage. But that has been the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching once again, but now it's time to say goodbye. My name is Tom, and I'll see you guys for a brand new video next time.